So I went on an 8-week trip to Europe and I brought only carry-on with me. This is how it went. I've actually been back for a while now, but I recorded the following footage the day after I got back from Europe, so the review was nice and fresh in my brain. So I'm back from Europe. I got back yesterday morning at 5 AM. I'm a little bit out of it, a little bit jet lagged, but let me just say that packing only hand luggage was definitely the right decision, and I will be endeavoring to do so on all future trips. It went very well. Suitcase check-in, 2.5 weeks into my trip, just leaving Brussels. It's currently 6 AM, and yet again, just feeling very happy that I decided to bring only hand luggage, because carrying this thing around, like, I'd rather not cart anything around, but having just this little thing, super easy, so much better. I met up with a few different friends when I was in Europe, and those of them who packed heavier with larger suitcases were all eyeing off my little suitcase like, I am jealous of that. I will be packing lighter in the future. Honestly, the comparative ease of carrying this around Europe instead of a big ass case, like a big case just seems like such a nightmare now. Most places that you would typically be going through with a suitcase, like a train station, do have elevators or escalators somewhere, but some don't. Or there'd be some places that would have an escalator partway up and then have some stairs and then have another escalator, and it's like, well, this is annoying. Or the elevator or escalator just wasn't easily accessible or easy to find, and it was so much easier just being able to carry this wherever I went, like wheel it along, pick it up by the handle, go up a couple stairs, put it back down, wheel it along again. So easy. And on the train, it was really good just being able to chuck this up on the luggage rack and not have to haul a huge one up there or have to go and store it in a dedicated luggage area and worry about having to keep an eye on it or anything. It made getting off the train a lot easier. When I was going to flights, I didn't have to worry about getting to the airport as early to check my bag in, because I could just do the online check-in, have my boarding pass on my phone, and just wheel my hand luggage straight through to the gate. And almost every flight that I booked within Europe had a bag this size included in check-in, so it was really easy. So there weren't any extra costs, with one exception where I just didn't realize it wasn't included, where I got to the gate and they were like, that bag not included in the price. That'll be an extra 50 euros, thank you. And then I had to pay an extra 50 euros at the gate, and they took it through to check-in anyway. So that was kind of annoying. But anyway, and when I got to the end of the flight, I didn't have to wait for my baggage at the baggage carousel, which is often the most time-consuming part of getting out of the airport. Essentially, it just made traveling through Europe so much smoother, which I really appreciated because I went to 12 different countries in the 8 weeks that I was there. So I took a lot of planes and trains during that time. Even the unpacking process at the end of the trip, which generally I try to avoid and just slowly unpack over a week or two after I get back. I ended up unpacking everything yesterday because there was just so much less stuff to unpack. It wasn't nearly as daunting. So overall, it went great. But the one thing that I would change in future is that I would pack more t-shirts. I ended up packing a 4th t-shirt last minute. I'd seen a lot of guys online that said you'll be fine with 3. But again, it was summer. And I don't know about you guys, but I sweat a fair bit in summer, particularly when I'm spending the whole day walking around exploring or going on actual hikes. So I'd get back to my accommodation at the end of the day, peel the t-shirt off my sweaty back, and I'd surprisingly not really want to put that t-shirt back on the next day. So I think having a few extra t-shirts, depending on how much you sweat, how much access you have to washing facilities, how happy you are to wear a sweaty t-shirt a few days in a row, I don't think a few extra t-shirts would go astray. So in future, I'll probably be packing 5 or 6 t-shirts instead of my planned 3 or 4. Sweat straps, sweat back. In terms of weight, I did end up going over the 8 kilos that I tried to stick to with this luggage, because although I didn't buy a lot while I was away, I did go to the Haribo store and buy 2 kilos of Haribo for €6.99, because how could I go past that? And my friend gave me this large novel, and I could not leave it behind because it is a special edition, and I love the first book in this series. Haven't read this one yet, but I want to, and it's signed by the author. So I was like, well, I can't not take this. So by the end of the trip, my case ended up weighing 12 kilos, which was actually okay because at that point I was done with all of my in-Europe flights, and my flight home had 30 kilos of checked baggage included, so 12 kilos was not a big deal. So overall, Success. I will definitely be doing this in the future. Future trips as well will probably be easier because I won't always be going overseas for 2 months. I'll probably be going for significantly shorter. I just don't see myself traveling with a big suitcase ever again because traveling with a small suitcase just makes it so much more pleasant. So that's what it was like traveling for 8 weeks through Europe and Dubai with only hand luggage. I already made a video about exactly what I was packing in that carry-on, and on that video, Jim Kirkwood asked if I had any issues with my backpack being over the size restrictions. I honestly had no issues at all with my backpack while I was over there, and I flew with 5 different airlines, I believe, within Europe. Nobody checked my backpack. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think I've ever actually seen anyone get their bag checked, like their carry-on backpack or personal item. I've seen those things in the airports where you can check them yourself, but I've never actually seen anyone get theirs checked. And I think we've all seen people while lining up to get into an airplane who have a backpack that is way too big to fit under the seat in front of them, and maybe they get checked? I don't know. If my backpack was stuffed full, I might have an issue cramming it under the seat in front of me, but as it is, it squishes quite easily and I never had an issue. Big thanks to all of you who watched my last video, especially those who gave it a thumbs up, who left a nice comment, and especially those people who subscribed. I have a little bit of a subscriber surge, so that was nice. And thank you to Farah Almasi who encouraged me to make this video. I hope you found it helpful. I've also started putting together the footage that I have from hiking through the Albanian Accursed Mountains, so I'll be releasing a video about that hopefully before too long, though it's probably going to take a while to get through all of it. I'm also off on a Disney cruise in a couple of weeks, which will be a completely new experience for me, but I'd love to do some travel videos on that as well as another minimalist packing video. So if any of that sounds appealing and you'd like to see more content from me, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and I'll see you next time. Bye.